Good evening, viewers. You're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Choudhary. Today is the 4th of May and today is the day where the ultimatum ran out. The ultimatum given by none else, viewers, but Raj Thackeray. Raj Thackeray had given the ultimatum to the government of Maharashtra, saying by if 4th of May you don't take off the loudspeakers from masjids, then I will chant the Hanuman Chalisa in front of these masjids on a loudspeaker. Did he do so today? No, but held many press conferences. This is how it all unfolded.
Raj Thackeray bumps up the volume in the loudspeaker debate. Maharashtra Sena workers on Wednesday morning played the Hanuman Chalisa on loudspeaker outside mosques at many places, timing it with the azan or the call for prayer. A police crackdown followed that saw many arrests and detentions. MNS chief himself was at home under the watchful eyes of the state police. While Raj Thackeray could not lead the protests against loudspeakers, he lashed out at the Shiv Sena-led government in Maharashtra, that in a hurriedly called press meeting.
1400 या 1500 कुछ मस्जिदें हैं और उसके ऊपर से 135 मस्जिदों के ऊपर सुबह 5 बजे के पहले जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो बताया वो नियम तोड़कर 135 मस्जिदों के ऊपर सुबह अजान लगाई गई लाउडस्पीकर के ऊपर। मैं पूछ रहा हूं महाराष्ट्र की पुलिस को, इन 135 मस्जिदों के ऊपर आप कौन सी कार्रवाई करने वाले हैं?
Escalating the fight against Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, Raj invoked his uncle and Uddhav's father, Bala Saheb Thackeray. He tweeted an old video of the Shiv Sena founder, where he was declaring he will end the namaz in public places.
ज्या दिवशी माझं सरकार या महाराष्ट्रामध्ये येईल त्यावेळेला रस्त्यामधले नमाज आम्ही पडल्या बंद केल्याशिवाय राहणार नाही. कारण धर्म असा असावा लागतो की तो राष्ट्र विकासाच्या आड येता कामा नये, लोकांना त्याचा उपद्रव होता कामा नये. आमच्या हिंदू धर्माचा कुठे जर कोणाला उपद्रव होत असेल त्यांनी मला येऊन सांगावं, आम्ही त्याचा बंदोबस्त करायला तयार आहोत. लाऊडस्पीकर मशिदीवरचे खाली येतील, बंद.
The Shiv Sena hit back with another set of Bal Thackeray videos slamming Raj Thackeray.
पूर्वी ज्या स्टाईल मध्ये बोलत होतो अशी ही स्टाईल माझी कोणीतरी उचलली म्हणतात, मला माहित नाही कोणी. म्हणजे मी माझ्या स्टाईल मध्ये जर उद्या बोललो तर मी त्यांची कॉपी करतोय असं म्हणणार तुम्ही कदाचित. एक विनोद आठवतो, मराठी मराठी मराठी. अरे झाल्यावर तुमचा जन्म झाला नव्हता त्यावेळेला मी मराठी काढलेली आहे महाराष्ट्रामध्ये.
The Shiv Sena, in no mood to relent, launched a fresh offensive accusing Raj Thackeray of becoming a BJP puppet.
त्यांना बाळासाहेब किती आठवतात त्याने पाहावं लागेल. खरे बाळासाहेब ज्यांनी बाळासाहेबांना सोडलं, ज्यांनी बाळासाहेबांचा विचार सोडला, शिवसेनेच्या पाठीत ज्या भारतीय जनता पक्षाला खंजीरीत बसला, त्यांचं उपवस्त्र म्हणून जे राहत आहे त्याने शिवसेनेला काय अंगीकार केलं.
The Bharatiya Janata Party, meanwhile, has thrown its weight behind its new friend, Raj Thackeray.
अगर उत्तर प्रदेश में मस्जिदों और मंदिरों से लाउडस्पीकर हटाए जा सकते हैं, उनका वॉल्यूम रेगुलेट किया जा सकता है, तो महाराष्ट्र में क्यों नहीं किया जा सकता? क्योंकि वहां की आघाड़ी सरकार तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति कर रही है. वहां पर शिवसेना को आज हनुमान चालीसा से डर लगने लगा है. बाला साहब ठाकरे की पार्टी आज हनुमान चालीसा से भाग रही है. ये बड़ा राजनीतिक मुद्दा है महाराष्ट्र में.
The battle of Thackerays could have major political ramifications, starting with the BMC elections later this year. The BJP is in a prestige fight to topple the Shiv Sena from its citadel. But can Raj Thackeray, who has so far been an election dud, make a big impact and dent the Shiv Sena votes? That remains to be seen. Bureau Report, India Today.
So viewers, is loudspeaker the route for Raj Thackeray to once again become politically relevant? Let's take it to our panelists. I am Sahil Joshi, Senior Executive Editor Raj Thackeray, Anand, Dubey, Spokesperson Shiv Sena, Shalini Thackeray, Spokesperson MNS. Before I cut across to our political panelists, I want to go to Sahil first. Sahil, what's of grave interest is the ultimatum was issued for today. The ultimatum day is gone. Raj Thackeray is still inside his house with an FIR lodged against him. He threatened that he's going to chant the Hanuman Chalisa on a loudspeaker outside the masjid. He didn't quite do so today. How much do you see this as an entire battle to stay politically relevant, looking at these local body elections which are coming up in months from now?
Well, it clearly can be seen that Raj Thackeray, who was searching for a political ground in Maharashtra after 2019 experiment, which gave rise to a Mahavikas Aghadi government, which included Shiv Sena and Congress and NCP. The parties poles apart came together to form the government against the BJP. Now, it impacted BJP, of course, but it also impacted politics of MNS and Raj Thackeray. So, of course, he was searching for a political ground. He decided to shift his plan from a Maharashtravadi regional party to a Hindutvavadi party, which is MNS today. And he wanted to attract attention. The issues which Shiv Sena used to rake up when Shiv Sena was a strong Hindutvavadi opposition party. The clip which we showed about Shiv Sena Chief Balasaheb Thackeray making a speech exactly talking about the same issues which Raj Thackeray raised today in couple of last days. We can clearly see that he wants to occupy that Hindutva space which he thinks that because Shiv Sena is now with the Congress, Shiv Sena will not be able to take up, and that is the fight what we are seeing on the ground at this point of time, if we are talking purely about the politics. Now, as far as the loudspeaker issue is concerned, now what we can see is that there is some kind of an action from the police as well. Today, what we saw since morning is that the police was purely on the ground, and they not only arrested MNS workers and leaders across the state, but they also gave 149 notice under section 149, which prevented them from taking part of any kind of agitation. Even though Raj Thackeray's letter yesterday, which he released as an appeal to the people, in that he did not specifically made appeal to the MNS workers, but he tried to make it to the larger Hindu audience, and he said that they should also be taking part in such kind of agitations. But normally we know that such kind of agitations can only happen if you have a political backing or if you are a political worker, and that's what the MNS workers tried to do today. Now, what we can see after this is that Raj Thackeray has made it very clear that it's not a one-day agitation, so this will go on. They know that right now the police is on the crackdown mode, and that's why their workers will not be able to move forward. But they will be under completely scrutiny of the Maharashtra police, and that's why he had said that this is going to be a prolonged battle. He also added one point today, that not only masjids, but even the temples which might have loudspeakers without permission should be taking, even the temples should be taking it down, and police should look into it. That's what he's trying to take. He's trying to take a larger view on that. But given that, what I can see is that now the municipal corporation elections will be approaching soon, and till then we will see this charged up atmosphere across Maharashtra. BJP targeting specifically Shiv Sena, whereas Raj Thackeray, even if he's taking the Hindutva issue, he's targeting more on NCP chief Sharad Pawar, at least in his rallies what we can see right now. So there will be a charged up atmosphere, political atmosphere, and this is not going to die down just by a day. It's going to go, there will be certain more issues coming up. There are a lot of issues which Balasaheb Thackeray himself has raised, and even though he knew, because that clip which we were running, in which Balasaheb Thackeray was saying, if my government comes to power, these issues will be sorted. And after this speech, twice Shiv Sena BJP government came to power, but still today what we are seeing, that the same issue is being discussed and talked about.
Well, appreciate you joining us, Sahil. So at least from here on, what we are going to look at is that this entire issue is going to keep simmering. on the boil, but just, to make sure that it doesn't boil over. Possibly one of the reasons that you did not see Raj Thackeray today take an aggressive stand of going out and chanting the Hanuman Chalisa in front of mosques. He stayed put at his residence. Many would suggest, one could have seen a head-on collision with the police of Maharashtra. That didn't quite happen. So keep the issue burning, especially till local body elections later on in this year. Connecting right now to our political panelist, Shalini Thackeray, spokesperson MNS. Want to cut across to her first before we go to Mr. Dubey from the Shiv Sena. शालिनी जी, राज ठाकरे जी ने तो एक अल्टीमेटम सा दिया था कि वो आज अगर ये लाउडस्पीकर नहीं हटते हैं, मस्जिद के सामने लाउडस्पीकर पे हनुमान चालीसा का पाठ पढ़ेंगे. वो तो नहीं हुआ, वो घर में ही रहे, एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस की.
राज साहब ने अल्टीमेटम दिया था कि 3 तारीख तक अगर ये नहीं हटे लाउडस्पीकर तो 4 तारीख के बाद वो किसी की सुनेंगे नहीं. और वो ही किया उन्होंने. वो चाहे घर पे बैठे थे, दैट वाज नॉट द इश्यू. उनके जो सारे महाराष्ट्र सैनिक हैं ऑल ओवर महाराष्ट्र, सबके सब उतरे रास्ते पे और जहां पे आजान पड़ी गई जो कि 6 बजे के पहले की थी और उसके बाद डेसिबल के ऊपर थी, जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट का आदेश है उसका अगर पालन जहां पे नहीं किया गया, वहां पे हनुमान चालीसा पढ़ा गया, लाउडस्पीकर पे पढ़ा गया, पठन हुआ. और जो जिस तरह से हमारे को आगे इशू को लेके जाना था वो लोगों के सामने आया है. द मेन थिंग टू रिमेम्बर हियर इज दैट वी डन इट वेरी पीसफुली और बहुत जगह उसका इफेक्ट सामने आया है.
But Ms. Thackeray, the question is also, did the FIR against Raj Thackeray scare him? Because he had threatened to do the same. He didn't do it today.
I don't think that these kind of FIRs ever scare Raj Saab. This has happened before and it will happen again. We are, as a party and as him as an individual, he's never worried about these things. The whole issue is very simple, which is being given a color of the religion. It is not all about religion. It is about implementation of the law and about the issue which the Shiv Sena government seems to have forgotten after they have come as Mahavikas Aghadi, and they have decided not to look into it and decided, in fact, if I have to point this out, they were given 1 month to remove the loudspeakers, illegal loudspeakers, which most of them are illegal. Instead of removing them on second night before the Ramzan, they have actually sanctioned 1 month permission to all the loudspeakers. So this tells you that this government does not want to or implement the Supreme Court law, and this is where
But Ms. Thackeray, I want to bring in Anand Dubey as well, but I'll come back for a question, later on. Please think about the answer, because you say that it's not about religion, it's about a social issue. Yesterday, the letter that was written by your own party chief, Raj Thackeray, went to all Hindus. If it wasn't about religion, why was that letter addressed to Hindus? Please, I'm going to come back to you. I want to go across to Anand Dubey. Anand Dubey ji, बात क्या है? FIR हो गई है. ये भी आप कह रहे हैं कि उन्होंने एक स्पीच दी है जो इंसाइट की है औरंगाबाद में, टू इंसाइट वायलेंस. आप तभी भी अरेस्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं. क्या आप डर गए हैं राज ठाकरे जी से?
प्रीति जी नमस्कार.
नमस्कार.
पहले जब महाराष्ट्र और उत्तर प्रदेश की तुलना होती थी तो उत्तर प्रदेश को पर्वत समान दिखाया जाता था और महाराष्ट्र को खाई समान. लेकिन मैं हमेशा से कहता आ रहा हूं कि हमारा राज्य जागरूक है और आज राज ठाकरे जी ने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में सरकार का समर्थन करके सिद्ध कर दिया. उन्होंने कहा कि मुंबई में 1500 के करीब मस्जिदें हैं, उसमें से 135 मस्जिदों से अजान आई है. मतलब 7-8% मस्जिदों से ही अजान आई है. चलिए अच्छी बात है. और जो अजानें आई हैं वो सरकार के जब संज्ञान में आया, सरकार उस पर कार्रवाई कर रही है और आपके माध्यम से बता दूं कि बहुत जल्दी वो आवाजें भी नहीं आएंगी. तो ये सिद्ध होता है कि हम सब कानून व्यवस्था को मानने वाली पार्टियां हैं. जब आदरणीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आदेश दे दिया तो चाहे उत्तर प्रदेश हो, चाहे मध्य प्रदेश, चाहे महाराष्ट्र, सबको एक समान लागू करना है. और दूसरी बात, आज जो मनसे के कार्यकर्ताओं पर FIR हुई है या उनकी गिरफ्तारियां हुई हैं, तो इसलिए कि पुलिस को इनपुट्स है कि भाई ये जगह जगह कानून व्यवस्था बिगाड़ सकते हैं, ये उपद्रव कर सकते हैं. तो हमारी प्राथमिकता तो भाई पहले कानून व्यवस्था को बनाए रखनी है. पॉलिटिकल पार्टियां क्या करती
करती हैं, इससे हमें कोई लेना देना नहीं है। हम विकास का मॉडल लेकर चलने वाले हैं। अभी आपके चैनल पे तेलंगाना का विकास का इतना अच्छा मॉडल चल रहा था, वही मॉडल हम करना चाहते थे, लेकिन कुछ लोगों ने यहाँ पर हनुमान चालीसा और अजान में सरकार को उलझना शुरू करा दिया। खैर, ये गैर जिम्मेदाराना
दोनों से पूछूंगी। दुबे जी, आप तो, अगर आप नवनीत राणा को, उन्होंने भी यही बोला था ना कि मैं जाकर उद्धव ठाकरे जी के घर के बाहर हनुमान चालीसा पढ़ूंगी, उन्होंने तो पढ़ी नहीं, आपने उनको अरेस्ट किया, सेडिशन चार्ज लगाया। राज ठाकरे जी ने तो एक स्पीच भी दी है, तो उनसे डर लगता है क्या?
नहीं, देखिए, नवनीत राणा जी ने कहा था कि महाराष्ट्र के मुख्यमंत्री एक शनि समान है। महाराष्ट्र के मुख्यमंत्री 7.5 बन गए हैं इस राज्य के ऊपर, और वो हटाने के लिए मैं हनुमान चालीसा पढ़ूंगी। हिम्मत है तो मुझे रोक लेना, नहीं तो मैं
राज ठाकरे जी ने ऐसे कुछ नहीं किया।
बता रहा हूं, जब आदरणीय कोर्ट ने इसका संज्ञान लिया, जब पुलिस ने एफआईआर किया और कोर्ट में बहस होने लगी कि पुलिस ने गलत एफआईआर किया, तो आदरणीय कोर्ट ने एक बहुत बड़ा वाक्य किया, पूरे देश को ध्यान से सुनना चाहिए, कि आप अगर एक लोक प्रतिनिधि हैं, आपका बड़ा पद है, तो आपकी बड़ी जिम्मेदारी भी है। आप हल्की बातें मत
कर रही हूँ दुबे जी। राज ठाकरे जी ने आपने खुद एफआईआर की है ना कि उन्होंने एक स्पीच दी है जो भड़काऊ भाषण दिया है।
बिल्कुल दी है। उन्होंने संभाजी नगर में एक स्पीच दी थी जिसमें वो कह गए कि एक बार हो ही जाने दो आर पार की लड़ाई। इसका मतलब क्या है? मतलब
तो
अगर
आपको डर लगा क्या कि अरेस्ट नहीं, फिर अरेस्ट क्यों नहीं किया? डर गए आप राज ठाकरे से?
नहीं, कानूनन प्रक्रिया मुंबई पुलिस, महाराष्ट्र पुलिस सतर्क है, जो उन्हें उचित लगेगा कार्रवाई करेगा। सरकारें बदले की राजनीति नहीं करती।
Okay, I'll take a quick question from Shalini Thackeray and I'll close the show. Ms. Thackeray, I'll come back to the question I asked you. If it's not a social issue, if it is a social issue according to you and not a religious issue, why was the letter by Mr. Raj Thackeray yesterday written to all Hindus? It's not a religious issue. Why address Hindus then?
It is a social issue and we have always maintained it. And
then why was that letter addressed only to Hindus, madam?
You have not read the full sentence. Hindu and my fellow countrymen. That is the way it is written. It is addressed, and in that he asks you to read the Hanuman Chalisa wherever the Adhan is going against the Supreme Court law. I want to know if any Muslim is going to stand there and recite the Hanuman Chalisa. That is, please read the full letter and you will come to know the premise of it.
I've read the full letter, ma'am. It's addressed to all Hindus. Hindus has been invoked in every second paragraph. I can read it out to you very clearly at that.
Yes.
My Hindus, brothers, sisters, mothers, my dear countrymen, if you're going to tell me it's a social issue and say it's not a religious issue, then you don't address Hindus in particular, no? Countrymen is enough.
He has asked.
All right, okay. I am terribly out of time. I'm going to quickly close this debate. Appreciate you all for joining us.